Hey everyone, so it's been over 7 months since my last video update, so I thought I'll do another one today and I'll go over the S&P 500 index, the trend change, and we'll look at the Bitcoin chart with the 200-day moving average and what's happening there. Before I jump in, I'll just say as a disclaimer that I'm not a financial advisor and everything you hear or see in this video is just my opinion based on what I do. So I do not suggest any financial decisions to buy or sell anything to you guys. It's just to generate new ideas and lay out the information. Recently there has been news headlines about the new bull market, but what I always think about that is that we never know how long it'll last. So they measured it by a 20% increase from the October lows. So that should be the start of the bull market until there's another 20% drop. I measure it differently based on my own indications, but here we are. I mean, it has been a great start of the year, been holding the big tech names like Nvidia, Meta, Microsoft, Google, Apple, Amazon, and I saw a headline that the 7 biggest stocks in the S&P 500 universe already make up over 25% of the index. So I checked and saw that these big names actually have a very similar exposure in my own portfolio. It's just that I wanna hold the strongest stocks and dump the weakest, and this is impossible to do with just holding the S&P 500 index ETF itself. But anyway, in my last video I was talking about the statistics about the average uptrends and downtrends based on my own research that goes back over 40 years to the 1980. Some key numbers that I talked about there, I'm just checking it right now, that the average uptrend has been around 300 trading days and the average downtrend about 130 trading days. And in my last video in late October, the last downtrend at the time had been lasting for 160 trading days, which was a bit over the average back then. Recently, I got a trend change. The downtrend ended for me at around 300 trading days, which is a bit more than a year. The thing is that I don't use that signal to trade the index itself. It's just the last part of my market regime filter, and it tells me that the tailwind is behind my back to be more aggressive in the mid-cap names and buy the breakouts if they happen. For me, it just means I'm getting a bit more aggressive on the risk side in smaller stocks and raise my overall exposure in single stocks. The shortest uptrend in my statistics was in 2007, when it lasted for only a couple of months, but it was so important to take the next sell signal or the exit signal for that regime filter, because we all know what followed after 2007. There was the GFC in 2008 and the markets fell like 50%. I'll never know how long these trends will last in the future. You get in, you get out, you get in, you get out. Like, it's just a matter of time till this uptrend will end. Entry is only a small part of what I do, as I just explained. So the exit is at least as important, if even not more important. The longest uptrend in my data was several years in the 90s. So that's what I mean by I never know how long it'll last, and I just want to ride the strongest stocks in uptrends. But all right, let's talk about Bitcoin. So as you know, last year I talked about Bitcoin and showed the chart and told you why I was out of that market at the time. All right, so here is the Bitcoin daily chart going back 2 years together with the 200-day simple moving average. the line you can see on the chart. And this indicator is not always perfect, but it has been working out really well recently. As you can see, the downtrend last year in 2022 was very clean below the SMA line, and it broke up above the line in early 2023 in January, when price started making higher highs, higher lows, and the simple moving average became dynamic support, which was tested in March, and it held. Price bounced back upwards in uptrend from there, and during the past few months it's been consolidating sideways, pulling back a bit. What will happen next, I obviously don't know. I don't think anyone can know the future, but I'm looking at the $24,000-$25,000 area as a possible support in uptrend here. If it breaks below that, if it breaks down, then it's a risk-off environment for me, and I won't argue about it because the market is always right. So that's what I'm looking at Bitcoin at this moment. So far this year, 2023, has been pretty solid for me. I'm not too far away from my total equity highs in the portfolio. I just still need to overcome the dump in Peak Tech that happened in January 2022, which was the largest negative month for me. But overall, it's all good. And I'm staying disciplined, I'm staying humble, managing risk to stay in the game. And I hope you traders do the same. Do the hard but the right thing. All right, I'll leave it there, and I'll see you in the next update. Cheers!